Question number 1. Materials requirement planning is driven by options: master production schedule, total quality measurement, overall production planning, overall inventory planning. MRP, it is driven by master production schedule. MRP2, MRP is manufacturing resource planning. Okay, manufacturing resource planning, or sometimes called as materials requirement planning. MRP2 is defined as a method of effective planning of all resources of an industry. It addresses operational planning, financial planning. Okay, and the evolution of MRP2 systems can be based on purchase license or in-house software. It is a computerized system. It requires the basic modules: master production schedule, item master data, technical data, bill of materials file, and production resources data, manufacturing technical data, inventories, and order. These files are required in MRP. MRP, better control of inventories, improved scheduling, production relationship. These are all the benefits of MRP2. This is the evolution of MRP. First, MRP is evaluated, materials requirement planning MRP, then manufacturing resource planning MRP2 has been evolved, enterprise resource planning ERP has been evolved. MRP and MRP2 are still widely used in industries. So this is a flow chart of MRP: production planning, rough cut capacity planning, then master production schedule, then MRP, capacity requirements planning and requirement schedules. Cancellation notices in MRP indicate cancellation of open orders because of change in inventory status file, bill of materials, planned order schedule, and master production schedule. So option is D. So cancellation notices in MRP indicate that cancellation of orders because of change in master production schedule. Answer is D. The master schedule is the outcome of aggregate planning. Aggregate planning is a whole planning as a whole. How many units of products are to be produced? There is a units of whole, and drives the entire production system, and it is a high level schedule that specifies what end products or product modules are to be produced and the time period during which they are made. Okay, in which year, a broad time period is given. Scheduling is a short time period, but master production schedule is in long period for annually how much products are going to be produced. That is called master production schedule, MPS. So answer is D, all of these. The master schedule is determination of overall production plan for the near future. This is correct. Provide rough time schedule for production of final products. It is a rough time schedule. Okay, so master production schedule is a production as a whole, and it is a rough time schedule. It is correct. Refer to end items or final products. This is also correct. So answer is D. The order in which sequence of different jobs are being taken by in a machine or process is called sequence of different jobs are being taken in a machine or process is called sequencing. Okay. Sequencing is a process that is in which sequence of different jobs are to be taken by in a machine or process is called sequencing. This is not routing. Okay, so this is sequencing. That is a sequence of different jobs in a machine. Okay, different routing is sequence of different operations. So different jobs in a machine is sequencing. Aggregate planning refers to the planning of production, that is at the broadest long-term period levels, at the short long-term period levels, workforce and inventory at the broadest levels, workforce and inventory at the short-term period levels. So aggregate planning, it provides workforce and inventory at the broadest levels. Which of the following is not a decision during the aggregate production planning stage? That is, scheduling of machines is not carried out in aggregate planning stage. Amount of labor to be committed, rate at which production should happen, inventory to be carried forward. This B, C, D are taken during aggregate production planning. Scheduling of machines is not carried out in aggregate planning. Sequencing is a subset of scheduling. Okay, answer is B. Sequencing is a subset of scheduling. The ultimate aim of JIT is batch size of 1, zero inventory and no setup cost. All of the above. Answer is correct. Batch size of 1, zero inventory and no setup cost. So all of the above. Answer D is correct answer. JIT functions. JIT aims in zero inventory, zero lead time, and zero failure. In JIT, the wastes are overproduction, inappropriate processing, waiting, transportation, motion, inventory, defects, underutilization of employees. All are the 8 types of waste in JIT. Sources of waste: overproduction should be minimized, waiting time should be avoided, unnecessary transportation should be minimized, processing waste should be avoided, inefficient work methods should not be implemented, product defects should be zero. Principle of JIT philosophy: setup cost zero. That is, setup cost is ordering cost. The goal should be zero inventory. Inventory should be zero. Productivity and quality inseparable. All of the answer is D. Flow of work, that is unidirectional in the sense that all jobs require operations and processing in the same order, is called flow shop scheduling. There are 3 types of scheduling: single machine scheduling, job shop scheduling, and flow shop scheduling. Okay, single machine scheduling, there is only one machine. We have to schedule in the scheduling, single machine scheduling. It is called single machine scheduling. Flow shop scheduling, we have studied product layout. In the product layout, all the machines are arranged one by one. So the flow of work is unidirectional. So it will not flow here and there as in the process layout. So flow of work is unidirectional, in only one directional, in the sense that all jobs require operations and processing in the same order. All jobs and operations processing in the same order. This is called flow shop scheduling in the product layout. Whereas in the job shop scheduling is a process layout. So this is a job shop scheduling data. This is one of the part of my PhD work. So job 1, there are 5 jobs. Number of operations in this case is, so operation 1 in so here 5, 10 operations plus 3. Here totally 13 operations. Okay, operations are 13 operations. This is a routing. Job 1 has to follow to M1, M2 and M4. This is called routing. It describes a sequence of operations. Routing describes a sequence of operations. This is called routing, M1, M2, M4. And for job 2, M1, M3 and M2, this is a routing. In bracket, the processing times on different machines are given, on the particular machine are given. So here M3, M4 and M1, it should go in that order. In the job shop production scheduling, you should not change the order. The job 3 should not be processed first. M3 may be the lathe and M4 will be the drilling machine. So first you should not make drilling. First you should do the tanning operation, then milling operation, then welding operation. So the routing is predetermined. Routing M3, M4 is a routing, and 12, 8 and 15 are the processing times. Here job 4 requires only 2 operations. Job 5 requires only 2 operations. So this is the first operation, second operation, third operation. Okay, so totally there are 13 operations, and we have to schedule which operation should come first according to some priority rules. There are so many priority rules. SPT priority ruling is shortest processing time rule. Okay, LPT longest processing time rule, and MOR most work remaining rule, LOR least work remaining rule, then MWKR most work remaining rule, and LWKR least work remaining rule. Okay, in this here and some more operations are slack per operations. Okay, there are so many rules. Slack per operations rule. There are so many rules are available. They are called as priority rules. Okay, SPT, LPT most work remaining, least work remaining, most operations, MWKR, LWKR. These 6 are most important rules, and we have to, the 13 operations are scheduled here for the make span objective. Okay, in the shortest here 111 represents 1 is a first job, first operation and first machine. Okay, here so see all the first operations on all the machines. So the first operation is here among 8, 20, 12 and 14 and 10. 8 is a shortest processing time. 8 machine 1, job 1, operation 1, and machine 1 has a minimum processing time. So it is 111. So this is 8. So this is a shortest in the shortest processing time table. So first operation is 111, job 1, operation 1, machine 1. The next one here, the next remaining is 10. Okay, so here first fifth operation, fifth machine, fifth job, first operation, third machine, 513. Okay, 513. The next operation to be scheduled is 513. Next one is 313. 313. Among this 313, out of all the operations, the minimum processing time is 313. So it is 3, job 3, operation 1 and machine 3, 313. So it is 12. Okay, 313. Next 313, then 3 to 4. 3 to 4. Even though the 3 to 4 has operation time of 8, it cannot be processed first, because after completion of 313, 3 to 4 only completed. Okay, 3 to 4. After the completion of this operation only, this operation have to be completed in the job shop scheduling. This is main important case in job shop scheduling. The routing should be followed in job shop scheduling, in single machine scheduling, in other types of scheduling. The routing, no need to follow the routing, but in job shop scheduling, the routing should be followed. So we can select the next machine 3 to 4. Out of all the others, 3 to 4 is the next one. So 3 to 4 is the next one, next job to be processed. 3 to 4 is the next job to be, next operation to be processed. Then 414. So the next operation is 14. Okay, 14. So 14, here 10 is there, but it should not be. So it is because this operation is not completed. After completion of the operation only 10 is, even though 10 is less, you should not take that value. So 414. So on fourth machine 414. So you can choose this operation. Okay, like that you have to schedule according to the. You have to schedule according to that all the operations are scheduled. Then 521, because after 14 this operation is completed, so 521. Okay, like that all the operations have to be, all the 13 operations are scheduled, and the make span value have been determined for the SPT rule. It is 164. Then so this is one schedule. Okay, without violating that rule, you should not violate. The second operation should not come before the first operation, so you should not violate that rule. Third operation should not come before the second operation. Okay, you should take the minimum processing time in that order only. You have to select operations based on that. This is called scheduling, SPT scheduling. In the LPT scheduling, 211. LPT scheduling, in the LPT, so longest processing time is 20. So 211 is a first operation. Okay, next one 14. 414 is the next operation. 414 is the next operation. Then next one is longest processing time, and it is 18. 412 is the next operation, because it has the highest processing time. 412 out of all 412. Okay, like that you have to process, you have to select all the operations. 422, 211, 414, 422. Then most work remaining. So the most work remaining, like that, most work remaining, least work remaining, most operations remaining, least operations remaining, everything has to be planned, and the make span have to be determined. Make span is one of the objectives. Sequencing of jobs in the ascending order of their processing time is called shortest processing time, SPT. Okay, sequencing of jobs in the ascending order of their processing time is called SPT. The lateness of job failing to meet the due date is called the job tardiness. Okay, due date. In a single machine scheduling, this tardiness due date will come if it does not. That is, here in the single machine scheduling, only one machine is available, so all the jobs can be processed in any order. Okay, so the lateness of job failing to meet the due date. If the due date is not met, it is called as job tardiness. The time taken for the job from its arrival to departure in the system. Okay, from its beginning to and when it leaves the system is